Hey Stacey. Okay, so some good lessons to be learnt. All right. I think in my notes that I gave you, I'd said be careful with the word trespass. So probably slow down and read the notes a little bit more cautiously. Okay, and that'll be good advice as well for the reading. Okay, just slowing down and getting 100% certain. Another point, don't worry about the 24 hours, that's just to motivate you. Okay, if you don't bother rushing, just ignore those. All right, I do that just to get people moving, because if they don't, usually they'll just put it aside and then it becomes difficult to get back into it. All right, so just ignore that. Next one, let's see. Okay, don't change it. Let's see, here's the whole sentence about when reviewing the essay. I see now. Okay, I think this goes to planning. If you can get like a rock solid plan in place, yeah, and almost sort of like plan what you're going to do for each sentence, then should be fine. What I would do is just slow down a little bit, start spending about an hour for a task 2, and just get it under control, and then as we go through, slowly start reducing that time. Maybe next after writing one in an hour, write the next one in 50 minutes, and then try and go for 40 minutes to the next one. Also try to find out where you spend the most time. Are you spending the most time thinking of ideas, or planning, or actually writing, or checking? Once you identify where you're losing the most time, then you can work on that skill specifically. Okay then, and with task 1, it's I know this one is tricky. Okay, I think my best advice for that would just be keep moving forwards and get it clear which parts you're going to compare and contrast first. Let's go. So, whether traditional education is a foundation for higher education or a roadblock for human creativity has been debatable over the decades. Good. Although public education seems to be uninteresting and repetitive in subjects studied, it is still the most effective and affordable method of gaining fundamental knowledge, yet alternatives do exist. Good. This essay will discuss both views using examples from, using examples from surveys and Canada to demonstrate points and support arguments. Okay, just to make it relevant. On one hand, enrolling in public schools is mandatory education in paving a solid foundation for higher education in many countries. Not bad, but it seems a bit of a repetition of what we've already said before. So we could have said, on the one hand, enrolling in public schools prepares for a brighter future and a solid foundation for future studies or even entering the labour market, full stop. Okay, and then we avoid the repetition. Students are not only taught essential science subjects such as mathematics, chemistry and physics, but also given opportunities to explore their talents through extracurriculum subjects such as sport, art and music. Try to use such as rather than like. For instance, recent surveys by Global Education showed that 89% of respondents attended public schools regardless of their social status. Therefore, it's proven that traditional schooling continues to benefit the majority of students. Not bad, good. On the other hand, revolutions in schooling through the utilization of new technology have seen an important development in Western countries, have seen an important progress, or what? Have seen an important bang in developed countries in recent years. This is due to the fact that the internet and multimedia have transformed uninteresting one-way learning into two-way interactions. In addition, students could effortlessly obtain information on interested topics and expand their talents through various applications. For example, in Canadian public schools, video teaching and electronic learning have improved students' creativity and productivity. Thus, we would Thus we would, after would we have the infinitive, thus we would expect to see more implementation of advanced technology in school. In conclusion, it is without doubt that technological equipment will become a major factor in school transformation. This is an unavoidable trend and will be growing in fast and will continue to grow quickly in developed countries. However, traditional schooling would, let's see, so, however, traditional schooling will continue to exist in most other parts of the world until they are technologically ready. Very good, very good, Stacey. Okay, now we're near the end of the 7. Well, we are at the end of the 7 essay check, almost. Just this one to do. Okay, so there's 2. Oh no, that's the corrections. Yeah. Okay. So have a look at the links. Okay, you've definitely got the grammatical ability, it's just the essay skills. So if you do want to do more checks with me, we can do more task 1s and more task 2s. I've included a link, it's a special offer. And let's see, and what we can do is focus on timing and get it down to 40 minutes for the exam. Okay, hopefully you're writing these pen and paper as well. Okay. And yeah, we'll just focus on getting it purely under control. Okay, so have a look at those links and then let me know. Let's go. The pie chart shows the distribution of spending of 3 municipals, of 3 counties, or 3 political zones, or 3 municipals is okay as well. Sorry, 3 municipals, 3 municipals, comma, Yorkshire, Lancashire, Derbyshire in the UK in 2014. In Yorkshire and Lancashire, it is clear that education represents the largest portion, whereas environment is the smallest for both counties mentioned. That's perfect, good. In Yorkshire, the community care spending was exactly the same as in Derbyshire, about 15%, while the expenditure in social services was 5 times higher. So if it's 5 times higher than 15, I would expect it to be 85. Okay, so I'm not entirely, so I would just put full stop there and assume that the social expenditure was 5 times higher at 85%. Okay, so it's a bit unclear there. Similar pattern of spending can be seen in Lancashire, but with a slightly smaller percentage in each category. The proportion of funding allocated to leisure is equal to education, roughly 35% each in both Lancashire and Derbyshire, or wherever it was. Okay, if we're talking about leisure, or we could have just been crystal clear and said in Lancashire the proportion of funding allocated to leisure is equal to education, roughly 35%, full stop. Overall, 3 regions spent the most money in education. Overall, all regions spent the most money on or in education and leisure, and the remaining funds were distributed, or the remaining funds were distributed differently in each area, the areas consistently receiving the least funds were bang, 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 and just put it. And that would have been fine. Okay, good work there, Stacey. Not bad. It's good that you're using these structures whereas. Okay, that is fine. All right, doing good. Let's see now. Yeah, it's really a question of just grouping the information. Okay, so we could have maybe just grouped the 3 largest portions, or the 6 largest portions, 2 from each. Okay, just in a small comparison there, and then next paragraph on the smallest portions from all 3. Okay, that would have been an adequate way of doing it as well. So you're coming along, Stacey. You're doing well. Let's just keep pushing. Have a look at those links and let me know your thoughts. Okay, all the best. Let's keep going.